Hi guys, it's Melissa from Real Estate Savvy. I hope that you are doing well. Thanks for stopping by today. Today's video is all about choosing a real estate agent. Now, did you know that purchasing a home is probably the biggest investment you will ever make? But more than 80% of buyers and sellers only use the first realtor that they talk to. How scary is that? I mean, you're trusting these people with getting you top dollar for your home or making a great deal on a home for you, and yet only 80% or more than 80% of people just take the first person that they find, probably out of the phone book. So here's some tips to help you when you need to look for a realtor. Okay, so you've decided you want to sell your home, or you want to purchase a new home or purchase your first home, and you start wondering, what realtor should I use? Well, there's a couple things that you need to do. Since it is the biggest purchase that you will probably ever make, it's important to interview people to find out if you have the same types of personalities, if you can work well together. Realtors, I'm one of them. I have my license, but realtors are known for being pretty slick, and they can tell you what you want to hear in the moment, and then you can be disappointed later. I went to a class where they were compared to used car salesmen and came in even lower in reputation than a used car salesman, which was shocking because I know some great realtors, but there are some out there that are, not so great. So you want to make sure that you shop around and don't feel like you're offending them. So the first thing I would do is probably ask family and friends if they have anyone that they could suggest. You might want to be leery of somebody who recommends Uncle Harold, and Uncle Harold hasn't sold homes in 20 years. You want somebody that's current in the market, that has been out there selling, and that knows what they're doing. So ask family and friends if they know of anyone, and then possibly consider calling those people. You can also go online and try to look at reviews online, but I find that reviews online can be manipulated or maybe screened. So I'd be a little leery of those. So ask around, find out who people use, find out why they use them or why they were so happy with them, and find out who they don't recommend, because you want to make sure that you don't use someone that somebody else would not want to use. The next thing you want to do is contact any realtors that you come across, either through family and friends or through your own research. You want to call them up and possibly meet with them in person. Go get a soft drink with them, or coffee or whatever. Go meet them at their office. Do whatever you feel comfortable doing as far as meeting them. You don't necessarily have to invite them into your home. And meet up with them and have a list of questions for them, which I'll talk about in just a minute. But be prepared that you're basically interviewing them. You could be paying these people anywhere from 10 to 30, 40, 50,000, depending on how large of the transaction is. They may represent you in selling your home and in buying a new home. There's a lot of money at stake here. And so don't feel like you're offending them with asking them questions. Now, on to the questions. Here are some things that I would ask them. I would ask them what areas they specialize in. You will find that some realtors only work in certain zip codes, or they only know certain zip codes well. And those may not be zip codes that you want to live in or that you can afford. Let's be honest, sometimes we can't afford the top zip code. You also want to ask them how many transactions they've had completed in the past year. And how many of those were they representing the buyer, and how many were they representing the seller? So you want to know about that. You want to know how long they've been with their brokerage, how long they've been in the industry. You also want to know, on average, how many transactions they do per year, if they have any idea how many they've ever done total. And finally, you want to know if they have a client reference list that you can contact a few people to find out what their experience was like. Now, just with anything, a reference list is going to be people that loved them, that would highly recommend them. So while that is valuable and you should ask for it, you also can do some of your own homework. Like I said, some realtors tell you exactly what you want to hear in the moment, and the truth may be a little bit different. So with these questions, you can actually verify a lot of this. You could contact their brokerage. You could find out through the state division of real estate, or possibly even their brokerage, or even a Google search or looking on their own website, how many sales they've had, what the addresses were of some recent sales. And you could contact those parties yourself to see how they felt about everything that happened. Don't trust everything you read online. Do some research in some areas that they may not be able to control. So if they've got 5 homes on their website that show happy customers, well, of course they're going to show that, because who would want to show a customer that was unhappy with them? But find out in the past year or 2 years what properties they sold. Look up those properties and try to contact the owners, or even send them a note or stop by and drop a note in their mailbox just to ask if you could talk to them sometime and ask them a few questions. So those are some tips for looking for a realtor. I will have another video that has to do with the agreements that you have to sign, both on the buyer's side and on the listing side, when you decide on the realtor that you're going to use. And you'll want to stay tuned for those, because there's some important things that you're committing to when you do that. So I hope that this video is helpful. Please check out my other videos. I also have a sister channel. It's called the Melmar Group, MELMAR Group, the Melmar Group. And we talk about creative ideas for everyday life over there. It's more of a mom homemaker channel, but I'd love for you to check that out as well. You can also visit my website. I do offer services virtually to lots of different professionals, including realtors. And my website is VA for virtual assistant, vahelpforyou.com. So until next time, be savvy and always be smart. Thanks.